The World Wrestling Federation. For over 50 years, the revolutionary force in sports entertainment.
It's the 34 days of Lingus, the Royal Rumble. This is where we give you all the Royal Rumbles
in a row,
all the way up to this next year, the 22, Faust, the 22 we're in. That's what we call it, the 22. And then all these shows will go back to back to back to back until
in a row.
The Royal Rumble happens in 2022. And we are here to give you the rundown, as we did for the 32 days of Lingus, when we did your SummerSlam, we did your WrestleMania, and now it is time to hit the Royal Rumble. I'm Cav Manning, along with Mr. Fausty Walnuts.
Yo, yo.
So let's run down the very first ever Royal Rumble.
First ever Royal Rumble took place January 24th, 1988 at Copps Coliseum in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, in front of 18,000 fans. On paper, this was not a pay-per-view special. This was a TV special on the USA Network. This was going opposed to the... what was it? The Bunkhouse Stampede.
Oh, this was their answer for it. They wanted to fuck them back, right?
Yeah, much like they did with the Survivor Series to counter Starrcade.
That was the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
I'm like, and look at what we got from them being spiteful. A great pay-per-view. I love the Royal Rumble. It's one of my absolute favorites.
Yep. Doesn't matter what's going down. If the business is bad, storylines suck, going to the Royal Rumble, you get excited just because it's always been a fun event.
It's a fun event. And why would we play this intro? Usually, if you've heard all the Manias, we play the opening of how whatever the music is for that WrestleMania, how they opened each show, and same with Survivor Series, or not Survivor Series, but same with SummerSlam. And I was like, welp, here we go, because the show starts with Rick Rude is in the ring. However, it's shit music, and it is not this good music, God damn it. So I had to cleanse our palates and put this in there. And because it's like right off the bat, I don't know if they just don't take this event serious. Because they're like, who cares, you know?
Yeah, it's just like, it's a free TV special, so let's just, and then it's
screw it.
It's got some weird editing at the beginning where it just shows screenshots of what's gonna be on the show, and then, like you said, the music is clearly overdubbed on the network, and it just drowns out the announcers.
And I'm very surprised by how do they do it? It's like you could hear the commentary still. It's very muffled. But then they got the music covering up the other music. I don't know how it's done.
I don't know. They got some
it's above
audio
my pay grade.
Experts taking care of that.
Yeah, and I'm like, I've looked this up. Why can't Rude have his music and it's not licensed to some? I'm like, I thought this was like generic stripper music, isn't it?
That's what I thought it was.
I always thought this was. This is like... You would know this music, that boom, cheeky boom, boom. That's always been stripper music for fucking a cartoon. They would use that. Everybody uses that. So, however, I never saw this Royal Rumble before.
No, I think pretty sure this is the first time I ever. Well, like I've seen stuff, but I think it's like highlights. Like the bench,
only
the weightlifting and stuff,
and only who won. I think maybe, but meanwhile, then. I think I forgot who won, and you know what? Reviewing this now, I think I still forgot who won. So it's gonna be a surprise to me again. I might be having Alzheimer's, Faust. You guys might have to take over the show. So this is Vince and Jesse on commentary. That's who our first one is, and like we said, the very weird opening. It starts off Rude with the wrong music, and Vince going over all the matches tonight. It goes on for a while. And I'm like, Jesus Christ already. So it's,
and I just wanted to hear this music get done with.
Yeah, no, because the other music was over. That's even better. Rude versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. A fan, I said, oh no. right off the bat, because I said there was a fan with a megaphone, a woman in the front row with clapping hands hat, Faust, where you pull the string and the hands clap, man. And all I wrote is, my God, I hope she doesn't use this the whole show. I was nervous about it. I laughed at before there was UFC, there wasn't tap outs. So you could see a guy trying to get fired up and tapping on the mat to get himself going, where now you'd be in trouble.
When he's in a submission hold, because you're like, hey, he's tapping. Oh, wait, this is before tapping was the thing.
Rude has a camel clutch. Steamboat stands up with Rude on his shoulders for an electric chair, Faust. Mm-hmm. And Vince McMahon says...
What a maneuver.
What a maneuver. I still need to get that T-shirt where it just shows like his tux outfit, a silhouette, and it says, what a maneuver.
Whenever he's announcing, I mean, you could just play the drinking game of how many times he says, what a maneuver.
And he got him. Nope. It's not a three. One, two, three. He got it. Oh, he goes into a whole crowning the guy before he realizes that it's not done yet.
Yeah.
Flying crossbody by Ricky, but Rude pulls him in the path, pulls the referee there.
The ref,
yes. Ricky's in a Dominator style, like backbreaker over the back, that backbreaker. And then they ring the bell. And they say, they tell us, the announcers, well, Ricky gave up. You see the swerve a mile away. Rude music and everything.
The shit music and everything.
Shit music plays. And they say, DQ. The winner is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat because he pulled the referee in the way. There you go.
There was also a spot, I think it might have been during the camel clutch, where Dragon's arm drops three times, and the ref doesn't call it. Then he does it a fourth time, and then he powers out of it.
Is he like, hey, you're supposed to lift it up on the last one. What are you doing?
But I think at this point, Rude was only with the company for a few months because he wasn't with Heenan yet, and he didn't have the Rude Awakening finisher. I think that's why they were doing that other submission. Plus, I went with the ending anyway.
A segment I have only seen clips of, and I never, ever knew it was at the Rumble. I was so excited when I saw that this was on here. I said, I was absolutely excited. I go, I've always seen the clip. I remember, like yesterday, Jesse saying stuff and him going, I used my pinkies to help lift up this thing, and you see him struggling. And I'm like, this is it, finally. This is great. This is Dino Bravo trying to break the bench press record of 705. And I'm very interested in a backstory here like crazy. I am dying to know. So, Dino with Frenchie Martin. What do you think of Frenchie Martin? His jokes of carrying a suitcase filled with dildos, having it open up at the airport. What do you think?
Great.
I love that. He's like, that's his joke, to do it on himself to make other people embarrassed. His suitcase opens and dildos fall out all over the airport. Oh, mama, my dildos.
So the modern day, like I looked up what the current record is because, like we said, Bravo was trying to break the 705 bench press record. Yeah. The current record, as of right now, is 885.
Oh my God!
By someone named Blaine Summer, who did it at the 2016 Arnold Sports Festival.
Wow. Well, my arms blew off, Faust, at 3:35, so I am out.
You didn't have Jesse there to spot you.
No, so I wish I would have. I wouldn't have blown anything out. Quite a difference. He had Jesse. I had the fucking cat. So they warm up with different weights, and I'm looking at this going, this looks like a mistake. And I go, you don't want to do that, man. And what the hell do I know, Faust? I go to the gym. I'm a novice.
They started like 3-something, I think, right? Or was it 4?
They were up. No, it was 3-something.
And then they slowly worked their way up, and I'm like,
more plates, more. And I go, a motherfucker gonna be tired.
Yeah, it should have been like maybe
2 or 3 reps at best.
And it was a lot of stalling in between.
And I understand you got to get your tits warm. You can't just go, let's go 6. Fuck.
I did enjoy Mean Gene was getting annoyed. Like he couldn't understand Frenchie, which was funny every time. And then you hear Vince throwing in his comments here and there too.
Yeah, so it goes from 555 to 595, 655, and then to 715. And I started writing this after they had already done the few already. So I'm like, he's going to blow himself up, man. He's a big boy. And all I think, too, is I go, wow, I remember Dark Side of the Ring. Somebody came and shot him, and he was in, like, mob stuff. You know, it's all I'm thinking, too, is, wow, yeah, he was all this.
And then they kept trying to get the crowd to boo because Bravo says, I need silence. I need to concentrate. And, of course, people boo. Then, like, one time he gets up and leaves the stage. I'm like, come on, this is stalling.
They did do
I know
for a while.
Heat, but Jesus Christ.
So Jesse helps him at the last part, and he's really pulling on it where somebody's getting hurt. It is not fake weights. Otherwise, he would have been able to do it. And Gene announces Dino got the record. And Dino looks down after that like it was legit, and Jesse's talking to him. I'm wondering what the hell is going on because they just say, fuck it, he got the record, and I'm like,
yeah, that was it.
What?
All
So,
right.
go ahead.
So I watched this Rumble, and then afterwards I listened to, I went back and I listened to Bruce Pritchard when he watched the show. So I got some notes from him.
Oh, very good.
So they said whenever they had done weightlifting stuff like bench press, they made the mistake of doing it in the ring. So when you're lifting a weight, there's give on the floor.
Yeah.
So instead of lifting, say, 400 pounds, it probably feels more like 500.
Morons.
So that's why they did it on the stage.
Okay.
And then Bruce says the stage wasn't solid enough, so there was some actual give there too.
Oh my God.
He even complained that this segment went too long. He said there was 180 pounds of fake weights on the bench, and when they said he lifted 715, he was really lifting 535, and Jesse legit had to help him because he couldn't get it. And
so he's supposed to get it with bullshit.
And he also said on the network,
why even have that much on it?
Vince is edited out laughing that Bravo couldn't get it
Oh
up.
my God.
Vince is just laughing.
I'm surprised because nowadays you would think Vince would be all pissed. This is, you fucking, you ruined the segment.
I couldn't get up.
Oh my God. And that is funny that it wasn't really that weight and he was supposed to be able to do it.
Yeah.
And he couldn't.
And they said they thought, he
it's
could.
A lot of weight,
saw
man.
him do it before, at least legit do 6 or something like that. So they said, well, we'll gimmick it,
Yeah. Wow. But I mean, why wouldn't you even just have it be 200 then if that's the case?
I know.
I mean, so you look like you're really having a rough time? I'm a mark because I'm like, well, look at this. I mean, fucker was struggling.
Yeah, because I kept looking. I'm like, it looks like real weights.
It sounds like he's plopping them on. I go, okay, they're not the plastic ones, and he's, doing a madcap trying to pull a sword out of the fucking desk.
It must have been the real ones. I mean, the fake ones were already on, and they kept adding real ones, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that might be interesting. So, it's 2 out of 3 falls time, Faust. It's the Glamour Girls with Jimmy Hart. Leilani Kai must be in a daze because she must face Alundra Blaze. And Judy Martin versus the Jumping Bomb Angels, who Vince doesn't even know their fucking names to care if they're even in his show. He calls them the Pink and Red Angels because their one tights are pink. This is bad. How do you not know you hired these fucking people?
It's funny because I've always heard the name Jumping Bomb Angels, but
yes.
I've ever seen them.
So Vince must get a note halfway through the match because now all of a sudden he gets names. And it's Norino is the Pink Angel and Suzuki, everyone's Suzuki apparently, is the Red Angel. Fink voiceover during announcing the Angels. Do you notice that? It's fake. Yeah. And I'm like, weird. Why? Because that's their name. So what the fuck?
This wasn't the only time I don't know if it was this.
And it's so fake another too.
Where I did notice that Fink's voice was dubbed. I don't know why.
And, man, it's so stupid because it's so noticeable.
Yeah.
Hey, Fink, go into this room and say this. Okay. These women are fucking awful, Faust.
My God, they're terrible.
Like one is set in a pile driver. And she just throws the girl over instead. She's holding her up for a pile driver, then just throws her backwards. One girl, she throws her into the ropes, only to kick her in the stomach when she comes back off the ropes. No clothes. I'm going to kick you in your gut. Okay. I can't imagine.
Come a long way.
Yes. And I can't imagine, Faust, that any of these women had to worry about being sexually harassed. They all have guns. First fall, the Glamour Girls. Second, the Jumping Bomb Angels. I assume we have they have commercials because they say we'll be right back after this. And see, I didn't know it was on USA. Double drop kick off the top ropes. Shockingly, they hit that at the same time. I was waiting for a disaster when I saw it.
Tag team specialists.
I was like, one's going to be flying out into space with nothing there, but they both fucking hit it. And the worst pin, as the arm is hooked and never even gets on the mat. Even Jesse says, what the fuck is this? Anyway, new tag champs. I'd love to know why Fink did a voice of it.
The Glamour Girls would win the titles back in June by a count-out. How they won it.
A count-out?
They did.
No wonder Earthquake and Typhoon are pissed off in a couple episodes.
And then a year later, February 89, these tag titles would be deactivated and wouldn't see them until a couple years ago.
My God. Yeah, when I even heard that, like, not too long ago, when I heard, the tag team, and I was like, what? I thought this was the first time that we saw him. I'm like, there was? A review of Mania 3. Andre and Hulk. They do a lot of recap. And DiBiase was on Superstars. See, I love all this shit because this is all clips that you saw that I never saw, though. You know?
Yeah, this is perfect because it tells the whole story of everything since Mania. How DiBiase is now with Andre. Heenan's not with him no more.
Hogan making it like... they're saying Hogan's gonna make like he's gonna sell the belt. Hogan comes out and like he's gonna sell it, right?
Hell no!
Hell no! It's almost the yes when he said he would fight Andre. Remember the echoing of it? Yes, and I went fucking well great. I go, man, it's the good old days. I go now we go like this. And if we had to review it, and obviously Hulk's going to accept this match, what is he going to say no the whole fucking time? That's what it'd be. No, all this is going to lead up, and Hogan's not going to fight him. So now they show when Hogan was choked by Andre on Saturday Night Main Event. The Superstars, where Ted asks Andre to deliver the belt, and this is from Superstars. And he says he will. I will deliver on your belt. He goes all through that.
Something like that.
Yeah, I love that. And he always says the wrong title, whatever the fuck it was. The WWF tag title belt. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? So that brings us to the official signing for February 5th, Friday. It's not even Saturday Night Main Event.
No, it was...
When we do our...
Just the event?
It was Friday.
The big event?
It was the main event.
The main event, yeah.
So that's going to be our next special when we're eventually middle of next year. We're going to do the 20 days of Lingus Saturday Night Main Event. That'll be on there. It's all main events are on that one. Mandela Effect, Faust. I thought it was Saturday Night's main event all this time. I swear it was. Yeah. Is that Hulk Hogan or Rip? Because he gets in the ring with blue pants and a white tank top.
It's so odd.
You're like, rip him.
No red and yellow.
No red and
Did
yellow.
you notice Andre, how he was just he kept leaning on the ropes.
Bouncing on the ropes. Yeah. He's like, I got no time for this bullshit. Oh, he's sweating like a fucking pig.
Oh, yeah.
They bill Andre at 425. Gene fucked this up because 425 is light.
He was always 5, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was 5 something. There was, they dragged this pig out forever for a fucking signature. DiBiase is the only one who talks. Andre grabs Hulk's head and smashes him into the table and flips this kiddie table over him. This is the table that Trump signed that fucking thing on. He was at that little kiddie table.
Yeah,
that's what I wrote.
Because Andre sits down at the table, and I wrote, it looks like me when I go pick up my son at school, and I get there early.
You're gonna go do your crayons.
Yeah, and I'm sitting at on the little chair waiting for him to finish up.
Box of clowns over here. Okay, so now it's Royal Rumble time, Faust. 20 men. This is the other thing. It was only 20. Don't even guess who's 1 and 2. Because they're in the ring already. This is no good to me. Brett
Yeah.
is number 1. Tito is number 2. Mr. Royal Rumble, Tito Santana. Number 3 is Shelton Benjamin. Oh, that's Butch Reed. I apologize. I couldn't do it.
Jesse says he bought rotten enchiladas from Chico Santana in Mexico when he was in the army.
Rotten tomato. Oh, my God. Enchiladas. Number 4 is Anvil. So we got 2 minorities and 2 normal people in the ring now. 5 is Jake, who throws out Butch. Number 6 is Harley. At one point, Don Morocco and Volkov both come out at the same time.
Yeah.
And Don punches him beforehand, so he gets in the ring first, and Volkov's not allowed. And then they go, okay, now you're next. It's
It's so weird.
Like Volkov fucking was a moron and ran out there. Warrior is 18th. That's interesting. I was like, look, it's Warriors out there. JYD, number 20.
Yeah. At some point, Vince doesn't even know what number. He goes, I think this is 16.
He's like with those reading glasses looking down. Looking at things. Warriors dumped out by Dino. Like, no big deal. Whatever. Warriors just a guy. Final 4.
When I was watching, I never knew back then that Jake and Sam Houston were brothers. So when they were in the ring together, I kept seeing if they would interact.
Me too.
At all. And man, Duggan was over. Like, he comes down.
Remember?
Crowd fucking blows. Wow.
They said he was supposed to be the next Hogan, and then he fucking got with the drug shit, right?
Yeah,
It was him and Sheik. They fucked it up.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're going to be... Yeah, that motherfucker was over. He was over. So it's Final 4. Dino, Hacksaw, The Rock, the real Rock, and the one-man gang. And then Hacksaw and Gang are the final 2. Hacksaw wins this thing.
Yeah.
He's the first ever Where's his Mania main event?
Yeah, one-man gang charged at him, and Duggan pulled the rope down. And I'm like, well, this is kind of a start of a tradition where you run at the guy, pull down the rope. Jesse says, Duggan is so dumb, he probably fell and pulled the rope down.
So I go like this. Okay, Royal Rumble's done. What's the next? Wait a minute. There's how long left in this show?
Hang on.
Faust, this is bizarre. And I go, what is this like UFC when they tape dark matches first to air at the end in case there's a quick knockout to fill time? That's what I'm thinking all the time.
Get a Hogan promo next, right?
Yeah. So it's a replay again of the signing, and then Hogan an interview, and then after that is still more stuff. We have the Islanders versus the Young Stallions. How is this going on after the Royal Rumble? I have no idea. Vince and Jesse still yelling about the bench press.
Yeah.
Vince asking if the bar has been weighed yet, and Jesse goes
To make it official.
Yeah, and
Right.
Jesse says the bar is been weighed, and it's about 711 pounds. The bar. So didn't have to do much to break the record then. Vince says, "Look at Haku's toes. He could hang from the top rope with them." And Jesse says, "That's racist. Next, you're gonna say it's from breeding." Good. I'm not making this up, Faust. This is what he says. Breeding. Holy God.
And this was another 2 out of 3 falls, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
First fall is a count out by the Stallions. So
then the match
obviously,
stops.
Faust. Yeah, the match stops for 20 minutes.
Yeah, because then we had a DiBiase and Andre talking interview. Yeah. Like,
This is some match. I go, well, go get a glass of water. Go to the catering a little bit. I like to eat a little bit fast, so we go to the catering. So then we come back from a break. We get this Andre and Ted. Second fall now. Well, obviously,
Yeah,
Faust,
I
if
have no
it's
idea.
2 out of 3, we have to have it tie up, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I just wrote, I have no idea what Andre said.
He sounds like Liv Morgan's mother. Second fall, the Islanders just beat the shit out of Roman's knee, who blew that guy.
Yeah. Blew his knee out.
Yeah, and win 2 straight. And you see
it.
the crowd fucking leaving now because it's the end of. This
You
is
see
why they don't do this anymore
Yeah,
with
you see
shit.
Vince and Jesse are talking at the table, and you see the crowd leaving.
Dissipating. I don't mind that. If they did an after
it's
talk
like a
with
real
crowd
sports
leaving,
event.
it is. It's real sports again. By the time they go off the air, the arena is fucking empty.
Yeah.
It's wild looking because you don't see that ever. So that is your Royal Rumble 88 in our
I still got a
34
bunch of
days.
notes I could throw at you too.
Go for it.
So they okay, so we all know Pat Patterson
The
invented
great
this,
Pat
right?
Patterson. Yes. Bone smuggling Pat Patterson.
Yeah, as he wrote in his book. So he wrestled a lot in San Francisco at the Cow Palace. They would do a lot of battle royals.
But did he have matches? There's a lot of wrestling going on in San Francisco.
Yeah. So he came up with the idea, like, what if we do intervals and instead of everybody starting in the ring at the same time? And
It sounds so simple too, right? And it was like, hey, he thought of it first though.
Yeah, they pitched to Vince, and Vince didn't like it.
Of course, Vince didn't like it. God, Billy might be right where he goes, what has Vince done? And I go, yeah, there are those golden, like, promotion-wise, I think he's better at. Like, I'm like...
He thought it'd be too long. 1 hour, it's too long. And then the whole thing that Patrick said was, hey, but every 2 minutes there's a new guy, and it's like a new match starts over. And he still wasn't initially sold on it.
Imagine he's got to twist his fucking... And it's like one of the biggest things...
Yeah.
Thank God he fucking bowed down to it and just didn't know, because that's what he does now.
3 months earlier, they did an experimental Royal Rumble, October 4th, 1987, in St. Louis. One-man gang eliminated Junkyard Dog to win that. It was not televised. It was in front of 1,976. That's probably why it's not acknowledged, because it was
lot
at
of people.
Oh, and get this, right? So it was at a house show, and they had announced ahead of time, whoever wins this Royal Rumble, Battle Royal, whatever they had called it at the time, the winner is going to get a title shot versus Hogan next month when WWF returns.
That's good.
During the intermission, they were pumping up, hey, we need to sell tickets for the show. They says, come back next month. We're going to have One Man Gang versus Hulk Hogan for the title. So they gave
oh, my God. Fucking morons.
So when One Man Gang won, I guess the crowd booed. Pat says that the wrestlers were freaked out trying to remember what they had to do during the match.
I still think about it.
Notes for everybody.
Yeah, I still think about how the fuck do they do it. And I know I was involved in, AEW. Why do I always say that? I say it every time like I was in AEW, as in APW. And they do Rumbles. And I'm always like, let me in on that booking meeting, because that boggles my brain would start to smoke.
What else? Oh, on the same day as this TV special, WWF also ran a house show in Canada, and the main event saw Honky Tonk Man beat Randy Savage by DQ.
Good Lord.
10 of the entrants in this Royal Rumble: Don Morocco, the Killer Bees, Butch Reed, Junkyard Dog, Harley Race, Hillbilly Jim, Danny Davis, Boris Zukov, Sam Houston. They would never be in another Royal Rumble. It's the only Royal Rumble show to end with a tag match.
No shit.
This drew a 8.2 rating on USA, and it would be the highest rated WWF cable show until the Attitude Era.
Wow.
And then 12 days later was the main event with Andre and Hogan. That did a 15.2.
Wow. And as people know, this is the twin referee, the twin magic. Yep. I don't know how much plastic surgery they had to fucking get this guy.
How much money did they spend? Okay. Let me notes that I took from Pritchard's podcast.
Okay.
This was the first WWF show that Bruce produced. Vince and Pat booked the matches, but Bruce is the one who formatted the show. And he didn't put the Rumble last because he didn't know how long it would take. So that's why it was earlier, because he was worried that they would run out of time. And they'd have
you know what? You're on live TV. I get it. We're live, pal.
So when they were trying to come up with something for a special to go against the NWA pay-per-view, Bruce was pitching a 22-man battle royal. I guess they did something like this in Houston, where they'd have two rings. They would start in one ring, and you'd try to throw your opponents into the second ring. So whoever was the last one in that first ring got to rest while everybody in the second ring
Still had to.
then had to throw everybody over the top rope, and then the last two guys would then have a match. And they would have 22 guys. It was a gimmicked $1,000 entry, and the winner would get $22,000.
So in that second ring, though, do they all have to sit and wait until there's only one left in the other one, so they're all resting too and just standing there, or are they starting right away?
Maybe they start right away. I'm not sure.
I would hope they start right away.
So one of the guys that helped push this Royal Rumble was Dick Ebersole. He wasn't working with NBC at the time, and so I guess he was just hanging out, being like a consultant with Vince. And Dick saw that the card was pretty weak. He says the contract signing as the center of the show just feels more like a Madison Square Garden show. So Vince told Pat, "All right, Patrick, go pitch that match of yours to Dick." And of course, Dick loved it. So Vince, they kind of
did
went
you just say Dick loved it? What did you say?
Dick was everywhere. Pat did come up with
And
the name.
she got what she wanted. You know she loved it.
Pat did come up with the name. Bruce isn't sure who came up with it. He said a bunch of people from the office pitched names. If you were to guess, he probably thinks it was Fink because he's the one who came up with WrestleMania.
That's crazy.
Dick and Bruce are the ones that came up with Titan Time, where they were like, well, "Shit, maybe this
goofy
is
time.
exactly 2 minutes."
Just go.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Oh, so Pat's idea. He pitched an idea to have a Stanley Cup type trophy for number one. And so then every year the winner would get that.
Sure.
Then their name engraved on the cup. And Bruce really liked the idea of having whoever won it get a title shot at Mania. Vince didn't like it.
Oh, wow. That was that long ago.
It wasn't until 92 with the whole Flair thing where the winner got the title that they said, okay, maybe we start doing it where the winner of this gets to go to Mania. And and then the last thing I had was just what I said. The Rumble wasn't last because Bruce was nervous. He couldn't tune the show right, and he didn't want to get cut off or rushed at the end.
Very good. That's some good information. I guarantee a lot of the Mafia has no clue about this, and half the time, and most of them are much younger than us. So,
2 more notes real quick.
Yeah.
I'll rattle this off at the end of every show. Most eliminations, one-man gang. He had 6.
Okay.
And Bret Hart was in the longest. He entered at 1, and he was in 25 minutes and 42 seconds.
Very good. That's some information that will change along the time, like we usually do deaths. So we'll have this for everybody.
So the first few, you see that record grow each.
Yeah, every time. So, all right, everybody, tune in tomorrow where you will get another day of Lingus on our way to all 34
in a row.
I'm Cav. That's Faust. We'll see you tomorrow.